I've probably not been the best in terms of documenting my time out here. I can't believe I've passed 6 months of living and working in New York City. I moved from London back last year in May, and it's been a whirlwind. Exciting, overwhelming, lonely sometimes, liberating. One being a Brit living in America, another being Black living in America, and then we have being a female living in America. But let me just say and specify, we're in New York City, so it does feel very similar to London. It's just 10x in terms of sizes of produce, the buildings, the people, but I'm learning more about the laws, the systems, finances, guys. Definitely the land of opportunities once you put yourself in a position where doors naturally open. But we're going to dive into that. What I want to do in this video specifically is catch you up as to how it's been. I've done some bulletproof. Wow. I've done some bullet points, how things are going. After the vlogs, what I've put out there, we have since moved, and honestly, moving by myself was not easy. I think I had nearly 30 pieces of boxes and items to move with me, and I did it all on my own. And I just took a large Uber and just moved to the place, literally. But out here, if you're moving furniture and stuff, by the way, I'm in a fully furnished place, and so that's why I don't need to move furniture around. But if you were to move like your furniture, you will go with movers, and that is such a lucrative business out here. The reason why I moved in, one, because I wanted the in-unit washer. I didn't know it was a luxury out here to have a washing machine inside your place, right? The previous place that I was subletting, which I didn't know that the laundry, the washing machine was not actually in my apartment. They said in the unit, but it was actually downstairs, and I had to pay for it. And it was just an inconvenience to always go downstairs. By the way, I'm on the 4th floor and it's a walk up apartment. Another thing I didn't know, a lot of apartments out here are walk ups. They don't have a lift or / elevator out here, and I didn't know that. Bear in mind, I moved from London to New York City, having never been here, by the way, and so I just took the plunge for it, and being next to a train station. And then couple days later, I then traveled to Atlanta, which was my first solo trip within the US. I thoroughly enjoyed Atlanta, right? It's the South, and during that time there was a storm happening in New York City, and so I was so happy to leave East Coast weather for the South.
I'm in the most random residential place ever, guys. Oh my gosh, I didn't see that. They take this Halloween thing serious, huh?
I mainly went there for access, which was a prayer worship night with 2819 church, and I met fellow Christians out there. I also met a lovely girl in the line, and we exchanged contacts and had lunch the following day. But yeah, Atlanta was good. I went there for 4 nights. I stayed at an Airbnb. I was more downtown Atlanta, and one thing I learned, because I posted this on TikTok as well, you don't want to stay downtown Atlanta because there's nothing there. No one is there. It was empty, and so I then headed up more north, where they have the shopping mall, the Beltline. There's just so much more up north downtown. But yeah, came back to New York City, more getting a rhythm of my routine now as we're shifting from spring to winter. And when I say I love New York City in autumn, not spring, my bad, in autumn. Autumn out here / fall is so beautiful. The trees and the weather is still warm. I'm still making friends, being outside, and that's something that I've been intentional about. Coffee meetups. I was not a coffee person until I came out here, and because I've been going to so many coffee chats, I've ended up being an oat latte. But yeah, just coffee chats and meeting people, it's been easier than I anticipated, because when you're an adult, I feel like it's hard making friends out here. I'm talking as a female, actually. I've done the Bumble BFF, and if I'm honest with you, the effort is not reciprocated, you know. And so I've kind of left those apps and just go outside and meet people. I feel like the best way I've met people and made friends, one is through church, two is through hobbies and things you have the same interests with the person. So Pilates, I was going to a lot of Pilates sessions, but even though once the class is done, the girls be getting ready and then they're gone. But I feel like once you are consistent on a day and time and place, people like familiarity, and so once they continuously see your face, they will, spark up a chat. After meeting people from events, I've not shied away from following up with people, asking if they're open for a coffee chat, and a lot of the time it's reciprocated. They'll be like, hey, I'm in your area, should we grab something? And I guess a pro, being British, having a story, moving from London, another video about it and my journey up to this point. You can check it out if you want. And they just want to hear more. And also, you have accent privilege, right? They love British accent out here. So coffee chats has been something I've been doing quite often, at least twice a month. I love to travel, right? And so I'm always itching to step outside of my norm. One of the reasons why I left London. Anyways, from then, a couple of weeks later, I took a trip to Beacon. And it reminded me of the trip that I took to Lake District. We headed there with a friend to both check it out. Hour and a half away from New York City, and it's just so homely. It has that community feel. It feels like the Lake District when I was up there too from London. We took a day trip out there, checked out the art museum, food places. They also have a British restaurant there that we wasn't able to check out. However, definitely gonna go back during another season because we went there when it was pretty cold, but we still enjoyed our time out there. I feel like I'm someone that always needs to be outside of home every now and again. There's one thing, come to visit New York City and then another living here. After a while, kind of get bored. So November, that time, just work, meeting new people, coffee chats, and then December was the holiday season and loads of Christmas decorations. I wasn't that too excited, and also I wasn't well. I actually had to go to urgent care just before Christmas, and so the healthcare system here was efficient. If you have insurance, by the way, if you don't have insurance, then you gotta have some moolah. But in terms of seeing doctor and then going for tests and then coming back with results, we're very quick, very efficient. Out here alone, dealing with that, super scary. Lonely, mate. That was the first time where I felt very lonely. And then from then, I feel like January has just been reflection mode. I've definitely want to document more since being out here. This is a cultural visa, and so I want to immerse myself as much as I can out here. Honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna go the full length of the visa. I was thinking about it the other day and where to go next from here, and I'm gonna be so honest with you. I did this want to get out of London and to be away from a place where I felt restricted, I wasn't challenged, and I wanted to grow and also learn more about the world and meet new people. There's other days where I'm thinking about my career and where it's going. I'm currently within a tech company in marketing and doing projects management. It's been fun and exciting, like during summer and just being abroad and different laws, different way of life out here. This is going to be like my personal diary / what I'm learning. I'm going to do sit down videos as well as to what I know and brought me out here and things I'm learning along the way. And if you're interested, check the link below for more info and resources. See you later.